Hi, I'm Fran Eldridge. This is my Fran's House of Herbs farm, and here we grow fresh culinary herbs, basil, dills, oreganos, thymes, and we actually grow inside and out. We don't use pesticides, insecticides, or herbicides. Here we sell fresh culinary herb plants, and we also sell fresh culinary herb packages. We sell a great deal of that every Saturday at the farmers market in Saskatoon. We sell to a lot of the local chefs. What's really nice, and what I really like, is we grow our herbs, we harvest, and we can generally have them on your plate within 24 hours of harvest. The shelf life, or the long duration of the herb plant, is dependent on how fresh it is. So what we do is we'll harvest the day before the farmer's market. We'll have those herbs at the farmer's market first thing in the morning. The individual will purchase them and probably have them on their supper plate within 24 hours of having harvested it. I'm standing in front of a very tall dillweed this year, and we do grow a number of variety of herbs. This dillweed is sold in the stalk form, and a lot of people like to use this for pickles and summer borscht, those kinds of things. It's really great. We also sell what we call the dill weed, which is in the green form before it gets to this stage. And we also sometimes we'll just cut a bunch of heads off and sell those just the heads, because they're wonderful. Some people prefer just the heads for their dill pickles. So we grow most of our basil inside our greenhouses. It's simply too fragile, or at least from my perspective, too fragile to grow outside on this flat prairie, because it's cold. If it's cold, we get a series of cold days. Basil won't thrive very well. We grow oreganos, we have thymes, lemon verbena, which I just love. It's a wonderful herb. It's a deciduous plant, so you'd have to bring it in for the winter if you wanted to keep it going for the following spring. But it's wonderful. Fish, chicken, rice, pastas, it's wonderful in those kinds of dishes. There's cilantro. We grow a lot of cilantro. Now the cilantro can be a problem to grow, so what we do is we grow it in successes, periods. We'll plant a couple of rows, and then 2 weeks later plant another couple of rows, and so on and so forth. That way you always have a fresh supply of cilantro. Some people know it as fresh coriander. So a lot of people don't realize that cilantro is actually fresh coriander. Coriander is actually the seed of cilantro. Anyway, we have wonderful mints. We grow the traditional English mint, which is actually a mint now. It's getting a bit hard to come by, but it's a wonderful mint flavor. We grow a variety of mints also, your chocolate mints, your ginger mints, orange mints, and so on and so forth. We have I'm just trying to, the parsleys, we call them the parsley sisters. We grow the Italian parsley and the curled parsley. Chives, of course, your traditional French tarragon, not Russian tarragon, but French tarragon. That's the one that has the flavor. We grow a lot of catnip. You would be surprised of the cat lovers, certainly in Saskatoon. And that's the one herb that we dry too. We sell it in the fresh stage and in the dry stage, and in the plant form too. Now there are a number of other ones. I'm sure I can't quite remember them all right now. I said the oreganos, rosemaries is another one. Gee, I can't remember anymore. When our I was born and raised in Annapolis Royal in Nova Scotia, and my familiarity with gardens and that obviously established itself then, because that's when I was had to weed and do all those things under mother and father's guidance. But so I've always had sort of a bit of a gardening background, I guess you could say. But when I grew up, I became a registered nurse, and I worked as a nurse for a number of years. And then I became what they call a union rep, and I used to do grievance arbitrations and that kind of work. Well, I decided one day I thought another career might be apropos. So actually I had gone down east to visit my brother, and he'd introduced me to a fellow who had a herb business down in Nova Scotia. And I thought about it, so I thought, well, you know, maybe that's something I can do. So I went out and I bought some land, and this is the land that I bought. I bought it out on, as I say, it's on Highway 11, south of Saskatoon, and I found out it had sandy soil, and I found out herbs like sandy soil. So I started to study. I spent days and a few weeks and months studying up on herbs and experimenting. I got a job in a greenhouse and worked there for about 6 months. I took a greenhouse course and then decided that it was time to start growing something. And that would be about 13 years ago that we started our business out here. And I've never worked so hard in my life and had so many challenges, but I can honestly say to this day, I absolutely love it. I really, really love it. We grow, I'm going to use the word biological. We don't use pesticides, insecticides, or herbicides. Now we are interested in growing biological because the actual herb itself, you're not eating the fruit of the herb, you're actually eating the whole herb plant. So you want to be assured that there's nothing been sprayed on that herb plant, because you're going to eat it. For instance, basils and those kinds of products. It's the leaf and the stems of the herb that you eat. Having said that, we try to control that primarily with the use of things like ladybugs, which we bring in every year for aphid control. We bring in mites, different kind of mites for different kinds of disorders like thrips, whitefly, a mite called Incarcia for whitefly. We bring in spores to spray for different stages of thrip growth. And one of our major concerns, of course, and processes is cleaning. It has to be clean. So we make use of bleach a lot in cleaning our greenhouses. And we do a lot of, we try to not cross-contaminate, try to get rid of the bad plants before they get into the good plants, those kinds of things. We are probably located about 15 minutes south of Saskatoon on the Highway 11, which is the highway to Regina. And we're open during the months of May and June. We're open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. After June, we're open from 9 to 5, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.